Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at McFarlane DC Multiverse DC Classics Sportsmaster. This is a Platinum Chase variant, and there is no regular version, so it's a new thing we're going to deal with when buying McFarlane toys. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Sportsmaster. Platinum McFarlane Edition. Here he is in the package. Looks like we have a hockey stick, baseball bat, collector's card, and display stand. One side of the package, Sportsmaster DC Classic. Other side, Sportsmaster. The bottom, there's his barcode in case that helps anybody. And on the back side, here he is posed up in the streets. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And did get all three of the Platinum figures in this wave. We have Manhunter, Reverse Flash, and Sportsmaster. Once again, don't fully understand why there's Platinum variants and no regular ones, but I guess that's going to be a thing moving forward. We've already seen the next couple of waves like this revealed at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not a fan, but these do seem to be a little bit easier to get than the traditional Platinums. I want to give a huge shout out to my boy, Madman. He's one of my subscribers. He messaged me and said he found these figures and was wondering if I wanted them, and honestly at first I told him, nah, I'm good, I'll find them myself. And after hunting pretty hard for a few days, I hit him up and said, yes, please help. So, huge shout out, Madman, much appreciated, got these figures for me. They still haven't hit my area. I've been checking GameStop and Target with the DCPI, etc. I'm sure they will be soon, but I'm happy to have them in hand now and avoid me the pain of having to hunt down these Platinums. Thanks again. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. Display stand, collector's card, hockey stick, and baseball bat. Before we take a look at all those, let's talk about and check out the figure. So I'm vaguely familiar with Sportsmaster. I consider him basically a minor Justice League villain. On his collector's card it says his real name is Lawrence Kroc. He was fantastic at pretty much any sport, but his obsession with winning led him to cripple a football player. That ended his professional sports career. Then he turned to crime, attempted to rob a polo match, and then adopting the costume identity Sportsmaster. He's joined the Injustice Society and had both a criminal and romantic relationship with Huntress, originally named Tigress. So I'm assuming that's not the Huntress that's on the Batman family, but a different version altogether, as I don't think she was ever a criminal. It looks like I see part of the Future State Dark Detective body on this guy, but we'll check that out in a couple minutes. In the meantime, let's take a look at him. So, he has that hockey mask, kind of reminds me of Jason, kind of reminds me of Casey Jones. Blonde hair, that's typically his look. If you go closer up, you can actually see his eyes inside of there. The mask is a little bit worn, kind of dirty. I think it's supposed to be that way. Armor on his chest, double jointed elbows, armor on one of his forearms, armor on his shins, and it kind of has that bat shape to it. Double jointed knees. Overall, he looks pretty good. This is pretty similar to how Sportsmaster appeared in the very recent Brave and the Bold comics from just a couple months ago. Even though it says DC Classics, I'd call this a modern version of Sportsmaster. And a closer look at his face, mask, and head sculpt, which I think looks pretty good. Sportsmaster, another DC villain to add to the roster, and he works great for a Batman Rogue if that's what you want to use him as, but he's not technically a Batman villain. Now let's check out his accessories. Starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane display stand we've seen a billion times before. It's a black circle, very thin, very basic. Now let's check out his collector's card. As you can see, it's the same image from the back of the package. Sportsmaster with his gear in the city streets, throwing a baseball, holding a baseball bat, and armored up. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now for his other accessories. We have the baseball bat and the hockey stick. Baseball bat here, kind of looks like a metal bat here at the bottom. It's a poor choice for the sort of handle. Kind of gives it a wood look to it since it's brown, but I'd say it's a metal bat. And then we have this hockey stick. It's very long, has some wrap on it, and it would have been nice if they painted that white. It's slightly curved, and it has a really, really long handle and a little bit of wrap at the end. Here's Sportsmaster holding that baseball bat. And for a character with two different accessories or weapons, it'd be nice if you had two gripping hands. but only has one gripping hand and one fisted hand. And then here's Sportsmaster holding the hockey stick. Hockey stick is a very large accessory. It would have been nice if he had two gripping hands so we could hold it with one hand or with two hands. Instead, you're stuck holding with one hand. Another accessory that could be really cool to enhance your Sportsmaster figure is this golf bag that came with the NECA Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtle movie. We have a couple hockey sticks, golf club, baseball bats, and a cricket stick. Could be really cool and useful. It fits onto his back pretty nicely, albeit a little bit big. Now to check out the reuse and differences between Sportsmaster and the Dark Detective Future State Batman, and there are quite a bit of reused parts. So, obviously the heads are completely different. The torso, the armor, exactly the same with the stomach. The arms look like the top part's the same, but the bottom part with the armor and the fins is different. The diaper area actually appears to be the same, but a different belt on top. And then the legs are exactly the same from top to bottom. And this is an unusual McFarlane figure that has the thigh swivel. Both of them do. Sportsmaster is now the 5th figure to utilize the Dark Detective body. We have 3 Dark Detective Batman figures from Future State, Sportsmaster, and Midnighter. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, about 7.2 inches tall, which could translate to just over 18 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, you can rotate side to side. He can look up, really not at all, down a little bit. You can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes up about 90 degrees, a little bit more, up, down, around. He's got this butterfly ring between his shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion and covering the gap that would be there. Bicep cut, double jointed elbows. His wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. In his torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, very tight, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion in the torso area, but if you move a certain way, you kind of expose some of those gaps. Legs, complete as splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is actually decent on him. Legs go forward, about that far. Back not much. Now he has the thigh rotation, and he also has the thigh cut. Double jointed knees, and the ankles. Forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and toe articulation. Here's a look at the Sportsmaster in the city streets, holding the baseball bat behind his head. And here he is, coming through the city streets with his hockey stick. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Sportsmaster figures. Here's this McFarlane Sportsmaster next to the Mattel Young Justice version. I've always liked this figure, fits in pretty good with the DC Universe classics, and I always put it with my Batman Rogues, even though that's not what Sportsmaster is. And here he is, next to Mattel's Brave and the Bold Sportsmaster, smaller figure, but still cool. Here are all of my different Sportsmaster figures, Mattel and McFarlane, and I'm not aware of any other Sportsmaster figures out there. One thing I noticed they all have in common is they have the armor on their left forearm. Must be a signature trait to Sportsmaster, regardless of the era. I want to check them out next to another couple of figures that wear hockey masks. We have Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtle movie, and then Jason from Friday the 13th. Now let's check him out next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is next to the rest of this wave. These are all Platinum Chase variants without regular versions. We have the New 52 Reverse Flash, Sportsmaster, and then Manhunter. Here's Sportsmaster next to the second digital wave, Green Arrow, the Atom, and Superman. And here he is next to the Entertainment Earth exclusive Sketch Hush Batman. Then, next to the Target exclusive Jim Gordon in the rookie suit versus Mr. Bloom 2-pack. And now, next to the Target exclusive Metallo and Fire. And here he is next to the New 52 Cyborg Superman and the DC Rebirth Tim Drake Robin. Then, with the Nightfall Batman vs. Bane 2-pack. And now, next to the Dark Knight Trilogy Morgan Freeman, Lucius Fox. And finally, next to the Joker and Punchline 2-pack. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix them with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some DST or Diamond Select toys. Here's Sportsmaster, next to a bag of tortilla chips. And here he is, next to some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, here he is with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, next to some SH Figure Arts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, I think it's a really cool Sportsmaster figure. I don't even mind the reuse one bit from the Dark Detective Batman, except for maybe the sort of bat ear looking shins. It looks very similar to the modern look that Sportsmaster have, which, like I said, he was very recently featured in Batman Brave and the Bold within the last 3 or 4 months, and he looked very close to this on the cover. His accessories are cool, but he definitely needs some extra hands. He should have 2 gripping hands to hold his accessories both at the same time, or 2 hands on the hockey stick. Would have been cool if he had some more sports type accessories, but I think I can come up with some stuff for him. The sculpt and paint job are excellent. The mask a little bit dirty. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or if mine just has some paint defects. I'll check it out next time I see a Sportsmaster out there. Articulation is everything expected from a modern McFarlane DC Multiverse figure, except maybe like the ankles and the wrists are a little bit dated, as this is an older body. If I were to rate this figure, I'd give him a pretty comfortable 7 out of 10. He's not blowing me away, but I like him quite a bit. He's a unique rogue, and I love when they make characters like this, a little more obscure. You can definitely fudge him into your Batman Rogues Gallery display, although it's not what he is, but that's probably where this figure is going to end up in my collection. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.